Rajat Sethi continues to be with us. We're going to be joined by other guests as well. Rajat, as we cut across to the latest visuals that are coming in right now, anytime Omar Abdullah taking oath, for the Bharatiya Janata Party, they will at least take away with the fact on how well they did in the Jammu division. And when you do look at it, when you talk about, and we've spoken at length, Rajat, about the fact that these are two very extreme mandates, and possibly representation should have mirrored that. Unfortunately not.
See, this is why, I mentioned that Omar Abdullah will have to find a way to work with the BJP as well. He cannot ignore the biggest representation, both in terms of absolute vote share. BJP was the #1 party in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and also its hefty mandate from the Jammu region. It would be disenfranchising people if Omar doesn't listen to the representatives elected on the BJP ticket. And I think that's how his maturity would be put to test, that on certain questions that, they are 180 degrees apart, how do you build bridges and take the state forward? I mean, it'll be hard for him to not just work with the LG office, otherwise it'll be hard even to work and negotiate out with New Delhi. I believe that, of all people, he should not listen to Kejriwal, at least on managing relationship with the LG. Clearly, he has no lessons that he has drawn in terms of finding an amicable way out to negotiate with parallel power structures. So Omar Abdullah would be well advised to actually use his own brain and use his own maturity to navigate through that complex relationship.
I think it's going to be very different than where Delhi is concerned, Rajat. But the fact is, Rajat, the fact is also, if you look at union territories, they've mostly been at loggerheads. If the chief minister is from a different political party than the BJP, and I'll give you examples. You had, practically the chief minister of Pondicherry been reduced to tears by, at that point of time, Kiran Bedi, who was the governor. And in Delhi as well, you've had, full-on confrontations. But yes, you are right, Rajat. Jammu and Kashmir is very, very different. And possibly and hopefully the maturity of Omar Abdullah also lies into maneuver it very, very differently.
See, Omar also has to go back to the people with the promises that he has made during the election. He also needs to find a way, an amicable way, to restore statehood. I mean, if he adopts a Kejriwal model of confrontation from day one, where is he going to land up with? What does he stand to even gain? So I think he is a smart politician. He would know where to press the pedal and where to withdraw. And at the end of the day, go after things which really matter.
Rajat, and I'm sure you'll agree to that.
And I believe that is where...
Yes. Yes, with Omar, I think there's also Dr. Farooq Abdullah's hand still, who also has experience, who's been able to work back and forth with Modi government or previous ministers of prime ministers like Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Stay on with me, Rajat. Please look at that visual on your screen. That's Sakina Ittu. She's been a former minister as well. So smiles and handshake, but a lot of caution there. She's been very critical of the government at the center. The two sons, Zahir and Zumair, sitting there, Omar Abdullah's children, who've been with him constantly throughout the election campaign. But remember, that's one woman leader, Sakina Ittu, who's come in from Kulgam. She's won her seat. So that's the woman face coming in. But how will she work with the center? Also will be very significant. So that's the oath ceremony that's taking place of the 9, we are told, ministers in the government, no Congress leader, and one by one, this is looking at Jammu region and the Kashmir Valley. Omar Abdullah has ensured that in the upper regions of Jammu region, that did give a mandate to NC or independents, 4 independents. 2 of them will be joining in, and you see them on the screen right now. Omar smiling, winking. He's trying to put up a happy face, but I'm sure that he knows it's a tough task ahead, Preeti.
It's a tough task ahead, but, Omar Abdullah would be only way too glad on which way the verdict turned out, Pooja. And primarily that stems from the fact he came in from Lok Sabha where he was expecting to win. And I think that was a moment which was deeply humbling for him, and at least somewhere down the line also grounded him. And this victory and the way he deals with this victory and the way he deals with his new chief ministership could possibly, that could have a huge bearing on it right now. And we've seen in terms of, his commentary in the recent past. But you're very, very right. He understands the challenges that lie ahead. And this is practically new domain. because the last time Omar Abdullah was the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir was
Mallikarjun Kharge there, Preeti, Congress President. Now that's Tariq Hamid Kara.
Yes.
Now this is very interesting. He's heading the JNK Congress group. He's won his seat, but he's not a minister. Now, knowing Tariq Hamid Kara or G.A. Mir, senior veteran leaders of the Congress in JNK, you work all your life for this. You won your seat fair and square, but you're not going to be becoming ministers in the government. Whether it's about negotiations, not being snubbed, but the fact is these two leaders for now only providing outside support.
Well, you're right there, outside support. That's what the Congress has chosen to do. Multiple factors there. There were heavy, the talks that went on for a while, and then there was a sudden breakdown where the talks between the Congress and the NC was concerned. But even if you heard Omar Abdullah, Pooja, the kind of statements he was making, he practically said it. He said, we didn't quite need the Congress. We could have gone it alone.
Yeah,
and we could have won this alone.
42
yes,
with 4.
But, hindsight is always 2020.
That's true. That's true. I think the National Conference was backing on Congress party in the Jammu region. That did not happen. And that's one of the reasons. Yes. That's the Chief Secretary who's speaking right now. More and more leaders coming in. All these cabinet ministers, remember, will decide which way Jammu and Kashmir goes. There's been no stone pelting, no street violence, a relative normalcy. Not all is well, but definitely a change from what we have seen earlier. And now, one by one, these leaders will decide eventually which way, specifically the valley, and of course, Jammu region, where are rising terror cases being witnessed in Poonch, Naushera, and Rajouri, Riyasi areas as well. That should now become the focus of these leaders. Akhilesh Yadav also sitting, like you said, Kanimori. And an added point here, Preeti, unlike Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, some of these leaders like Akhilesh Yadav and Kanimori landed yesterday evening itself. I would like to believe they wanted to enjoy the cool breeze. The temperature is dipping in Srinagar. So why not just take this chance and a break, don't you think?
Of course, 100%. I think, that's even in election reporting. I was so envious of Pooja because Pooja was in this beautiful Jammu and Kashmir reporting while I had to be in Haryana. Not that I didn't want to, but it's just what it is. And I don't grudge any one of them, for wanting to come in an extra day or possibly even staying, over an extra day after that. But yes, what the India Alliance would be desperate about today, viewers, especially going in before the state of Maharashtra goes into vote, is to project a united picture, Pooja, because seat-sharing talks between the Aghadi, the Mahavikas Aghadi in Maharashtra right now, has come to a pass multiple times. It's been a humbling experience for the Congress, and the partners in Maharashtra would be hoping that after Haryana's debacle, the Congress would be more grounded and would at least now, climb down a bit from what they have openly said, the high horse that the Congress is riding on. So yes, in terms of that, these images that we see in the front row, important. But Pooja, take us through, the cabinet of Omar Abdullah. We have seen, and it's heartening to know there is one woman in the cabinet, but take us through the others who are taking oath in terms of representation.
SP Vaid, he's the former Director General of Police of Jammu and Kashmir. Welcome to the telecast, sir. And what I want to ask you here is my curiosity and concern will also be eventually law and order and security. And that's not going to be with the Omar Abdullah government. It goes to the center for now till it's a union territory. But do you think that will also be crucial? Perhaps for now it's better to have it with the center, and Omar Abdullah's government will work in tandem with it.
All rise for the national anthem.
Pooja, good morning. Though these powers are with Lieutenant Governor, security, police, law and order, transfers of the IAS, IPS officers, vigilance, Advocate General and other law officers, prosecution, all these powers lie in that bifurcation order which was issued with the Lieutenant Governor. So it's very, very important for Mr. Omar Abdullah to work with the LG very closely, because ultimately beneficiary of improvement in situation would be the present government, not the LG. Ultimately, if things improve, and the way Kashmir Valley has actually shown positive signs ever since abrogation of Article 370, there's no stone pelting, the terrorism, all parameters have come down. Only concern was Jammu region till recently. And I think he needs to work very closely with the Lieutenant Governor, who will be actually commanding all these departments. And ultimately, the statesmanship of Omar Abdullah will be tested here, and he will have to work very closely, not only with the LG, but with the Union Home Ministry, Mr. Union Home Minister also, Honorable Amit Shah, because ultimately the control of the Union Territory lies with him. And I think Kejriwal and the Pondicherry models are not very good. He should emulate, because J&K is not like Pondicherry or Delhi. It's a very sensitive state. Suddenly, if situation takes a bad turn, things will be very, very bad, and he needs to work very, very closely, because the difficulties will come, because ultimately the district administration, the DM, the SPs are actually the people who call the shots in the districts, and police department.
You're right, sir. I'm just going to cut you short. You're bang on where you say here, at least because the modalities of governance have completely changed since Jammu and Kashmir became a union territory. A lot of the powers now will lie with the Lieutenant Governor, especially where security is concerned. What role does Omar Abdullah play in that, and how confrontational or accommodative he is, we'll only know in time to come. Right now, he's at least making the right noises. Cutting across to Sunil Ji Bhatt, who's joining us right now from Jammu. Sunil, get us a sense, what we are seeing right now. Some expected old faces in Omar's new cabinet, but some surprises as well. Take us through them.
Well, Preeti, independent candidate Satish Sharma, who won from Chamb Assembly segment in Jammu region, has been inducted as a minister, because after getting elected as an MLA, he extended his support to Omar Abdullah, and now he has been made a minister. This has been done to give representation to Jammu region, because remember, Preeti, Congress was contesting on most of the Hindu-dominated seats in Jammu region. Congress was contesting in total 32 seats in Jammu and Kashmir as per the seat sharing agreement between the National Conference and the Congress Party. The Congress Party could not win even a single Hindu-dominated seat. Not a single Hindu candidate could emerge victorious of the Congress Party. And this has been, right from the very beginning, Omar Abdullah has been emphasizing that Congress was not focusing on the election campaign in Jammu region. He had raised his concern before the last phase of assembly elections, and now his concerns got reflected. His concerns came true, because Congress performed very poorly in Jammu region, and in total Congress could only manage to win 6 seats in Jammu and Kashmir, 5 in the Kashmir Valley, 1 in Jammu region, but not a single Hindu candidate of the Congress Party could win any of these seats. And that is why now Omar Abdullah, after the election results have been saying, he has been saying that he will give adequate representation to Jammu, and he will also do his level best to ensure that Jammu region gets its due. Now Satish Sharma, independent, has been inducted
because
as a
Satish
minister.
Sharma, who won from Chamb, it was a massive margin. What about others who won from Inderwal, for example, where 80% voting had happened? There also the independent candidate had won, expressing support to the NC Congress and other independents as well. So what do you think happens there? How possibly, and what could be the reason that Chamb's independent candidate has been chosen?
Well, Pooja, Satish Sharma is the son of Madan Lal Sharma. Madan Lal Sharma was an MP from Jammu Lok Sabha seat. He was a senior leader here, and he won consecutively. He won this seat in 2004. Then he again won this seat in the 2009 Lok Sabha elections. And Congress Party, Satish Sharma was expecting that Congress Party would give him a ticket from Chamb Assembly segment. He was lobbying for it, but the Congress Party did not give him ticket. Instead, Congress Party chose Tara Chand, who is former Deputy Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir.